You're live.
Hello, hello. How are y'all this evening? Try to turn my phone off so it won't go loud. You can tell me you told me so.
It's been a very stormy day in the South today.
Yeah, crazy
I
day.
don't like seeing the
Collection.
reflection. We'll see if I can read pretty well when it's close to me, just as long as it's not far away.
She can't. All right, there we go. Now we're on. Hey, Grammy Karen. Hey, all the things acres. Miss Ann, Game Master, how are y'all? Sorry we were a little late getting on. Just trying to get everybody settled.
Hello from Pennsylvania.
Jennifer, how are y'all? Well, let me see. It's been raining here. It's amazing. It's literally going to be 34 tonight here in Mississippi.
We had some pretty rough thunderstorms roll through this afternoon, and that brought a major cold front.
I'm hoping this is our Easter snap. So I'm hoping we have no more coming. So, hey, Boots and Bounty. Hey, Miss Rebecca, how are you? It makes me feel special when Miss Rebecca calls us kids because it shows we still are young.
Well,
hey, Miss Maria.
Aiden is about to be 13, so our oldest is about to be a teenager, and it makes me feel like...
Oh, I get nauseous. D. Martin, how are you? Miss Phyllis, how are you doing? Yeah, I know. I really felt like I looked at a picture today of Aiden when he was like, how old was he in that picture? 5-ish, 6-ish.
I was busy doing stuff when
he was 5 or 6, and he's like this little boy, and man, I wish he was still that size.
Is he really that size?
Yeah, he was this size, literally.
Tomorrow's April Fool's.
Sure is.
I thought about pulling a trick on the kids and getting. I have a blank onesie of Livy's and putting Big Sister on it and letting her wear it.
I think I would have a heart attack.
I thought about pulling the April Fool's trick on the kids, and I was like, no, I better not do that.
Hey, Carrie, what's up? Hey, Henry Sonnies. Yeah, I don't know if I can handle April Fools like that. Taking it. Ain't never enough time. Hey, Latoya, how are y'all? How's the weather in Costa Rica this evening? Yeah, so in Alabama, I see some people coming in from Georgia and Alabama and North Carolina getting the rest of our storms. Y'all take the storms and the cold weather, too. We were supposed to be planting a lot of our garden this week, but between the water,
so wet.
Yeah, between the rain and water,
we can't get in the garden.
And not only that, it's just cold. It's unbelievable. I'm worried about our plum tree. There's plums everywhere on it, and we're scared we're gonna lose a lot of that.
Loaded.
Hey, Miss Josie, how are you?
So pretty.
Hey,
but I don't think it's supposed to drop down under freezing, so hopefully we'll be okay. Just as long as no frost sets in on it, that might cause problems. So hopefully not. Storming in North Carolina, yeah, we had all of that earlier. Need more recipes. We do a lot of cooking. But I don't know if I have anything extra special.
We had, well, I really thought that last video had the squash patties in it. There's been a lot of people ask about that, so I tagged that.
Those are really good.
I tagged it in that video, by the way. And we're getting squash season. So what was crazy is that was last year's squash for us.
Yeah, it was. Grammy Karen says she brought all her seed trays in from the greenhouse today.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm sure it's going to get way colder in Kentucky than it is in South Mississippi.
The heat lamps are off in there?
Well, I unplugged it the other day because my sunflowers and the basil were like wilting.
Are you think when you plug them back up tonight?
Yeah, and close that door.
Yeah. I get to go do that tonight. Yay!
Well, we have been rearranging the whole entire house, just from one end of the house to the other, trying to get spring cleaning and organization going on in here. And I have been,
it has
been like, oh, well, while I was cleaning out our closets today, Jennings got blue fingernail polish and went in the girls' room on their new addition. Y'all saw their new little shelving that was under the stairs. And on the white, he just had himself a good old time. And I cannot get it off. So I'm going to have to repaint and probably sand some of the wood part down. And he got it all over the concrete floor.
Raven Cat, the Reno is going really good. It is. We're just to a point where we're at the very end, and it's just stressful.
It's like you're so ready to get it done.
We're so close, and then yet we look up and we're like, "Holy moly, we have a lot to do still." So it's coming along though. Thank you for
Dale
asking.
said her den is full of seeds. I mean,
Hey, Miss Shirley, welcome.
Seed starts because it's supposed to get cold there too.
Hey, Kelly from New Jersey. Thank you. We hope you enjoy watching.
You definitely have to do what you got to do to keep your stuff.
Yeah. So again about the reno, I'm ready to get done with it all. Like every day we come home and because we're putting so much up there, we're changing all the rooms downstairs. Not meaning to, but just because
we had to pull our office desk out of our room today because we built an area just for that.
Yeah.
So having to go through all of that, all of the drawers, having to rearrange our room because now that desk is gone. It's just, So
it's a little bit more compounded spring cleaning. So we're really not spring cleaning as much as getting upstairs ready, but through that, we're getting spring cleaning done. So,
yeah.
And of course, it's spring garden season and bee season and calves season and every other season. So it has been busy around here. Hey, Keith, what's up? We're so close. We're like 94% done. Wouldn't you say that? We actually, you'll see in tomorrow's video a snippet of it, and Friday's video you'll see a snippet of it too. So let's see. Amy said I will check the mail in a few days from Gray McCarran. Renovations are hard on the entire family. They are. We were laughing because our kids. I feel like we go from milking at 4 o'clock in the morning to homeschool to work to farming to then when it gets dark we come back inside and then work in the reno. So all the kids are over it too, I think.
Did you read that about
what's going on?
High from stormy Georgia lightning just struck the barbed wire in the neighbor's pasture, blew the whole section into smithereens.
Well, y'all keep that over there. I'm telling you, this weather has been crazy. We had a lot of lightning too. We're having like tornado thunderstorms really before we get into that kind of tornado season for us.
Yeah, it's been like every other, not every other, it's been like weekly. So we'll get a line of storms and then we'll be good for like a few days. And then the beginning of that next week is like they're sending out storm warnings again.
You can walk in our garden right now and if you wouldn't have like a knee-on boot, like have a boot that goes to your knee, you'd probably sink in the mud.
It's just been very wet.
Muddy. I was in the garden the other day and I was just like sliding everywhere and in the tractor. I was just doing some work on the new garden, on the spot that we tilled up. You saw the last video where Misty was talking about the pigs. So right there we were trying to smooth out some of the pig spots and we were literally taking the tractor and me and Jennings were just sliding everywhere. That's how wet it is. So yeah, 2021, man, I'm telling you, I want to go back to 2020. Y'all can keep 2021. It's been stressful here.
It has been, not in all aspects.
Hey, Jackie.
But I don't think you have very much footage of the whole milking. There's going to be some of the stuff come out soon, but then I don't think you've got the whole, like, everything, have you? I don't think you have. Be able to share all that.
Just the whole milking process?
Just what we've been dealing with. Yeah, what we have been dealing with.
Okay, so that's right. I didn't have. Hey, Kramer Life, what's up, man? Welcome to our live. So let me tell you a little bit about our milking scenario lately. And I'm telling you, if I do this, my blood pressure might go up. So, okay, so let's start back on milking. We've been milking. Of course, this is our third or fourth year milking a cow. So
I think this will be our third.
Going into fourth, wouldn't it?
This is our 17? Third spring.
Third spring. Okay, so we're going into our third spring, which is the wet season for us. If y'all know the South, we get a lot of rain.
Trixie, the new calf, she's doing great.
Yeah, she's doing great, by the way. And actually has been a better calf.
She's beautiful,
probably than any calf we've had, as in just being calm, cool, and collected. So we got, if you remember the first few days, she was a little wild, just because, mama cows are always pretty wild. And we were
expecting that because dairy, like I told you on the video, dairy cows.
No spoilers tonight, though.
Are very into their
They're conscientious.
calves. They don't want their calves far away from them. They want them to be in their sight, in their line of vision. And if any of you guys have dealt with a dairy cow that you're milking, they're just different than beef. We have our beef will have their calves, and man, they will leave their calves in a minute for some food. But the dairy cows are in our experience, are just not like that.
So after about the third or fourth day, really, it's been pretty good. The calf sometimes will come over with mama, sometimes won't. No big deal. Well, all of a sudden, we noticed that Allie just wasn't herself one day. So we thought, well, maybe she's sick or not sick. Well, anyways, we worked through that. She was not sick. She just had a bad day, and just normal pregnancy situation going on. But we poured off milk 2 or 3 days in a row just because we were worried about it. We were scared that something was wrong. We gave it to animals. So we didn't have that milk. All those days went fine milking. It just we just poured off the milk because we were not using it. We were just worried, it's better to be safe than sorry. Then all of a sudden, the next day we're like, okay, let's go. She's fine. Let's go back and start getting our milk. Oh my gosh, guys! My milk pump. Y'all seen the videos of my pros and cons on the Amazon milking machine. Well, this was definitely one of those con days. So we get the milk pump out there. The first day, the first day, one of the claw piece, it blew off. I'm talking about like shot off, and so the milk was I didn't have any suction basically. So I said, what am I going to do?
Well, let me break this down for y'all. That when you don't have suction, when one messes up and the other three are on, it loses that suction.
Loses the vacuum.
So it drops. Okay. So if anything, once it has to have that seal, all four of them have to be on for that suction to keep the seal. So if the seal breaks anywhere, it loses the suction and everything will fall off.
So at that point, it fell a little bit. So I said, well, I'll adjust her. No big deal. We'll make it happen. Now, let me go back and say this. Keith brought up a good point. We hand milked Elsa with no issue. Allie is a little bit bigger bagged cow, and we trained her the milking stanchion, but we trained her based on the milk pump. So she's
not used to
to staying in the stanchion for being hand milked, 25, 30 minutes. She's used to coming 15, in 15, 20 minutes and she's done. So, so she's not used to it. So I managed to get the end back on enough to get her milked out. Well, at this point I was worried about this milk. I said, well, I'm going to give this to the animals too, because, with it falling, losing the vacuum, I didn't have my hand milking stuff out that day at all. So I said, well, I don't have my bucket out here and my pail to hand milk. So I said, let me just pour this one and we'll do it tomorrow. Now, we still have plenty of milk from the first few days of milking. So the next day, I go out. And I said, okay, today is going to be a better day. Now, every day we're taking off cleaning the milk. I'm talking about doing a deep clean to our milk pump. So,
well, he tested it before he took everything out.
Oh, yeah.
He got up that morning and tested it.
Hooked it back up, got
everything
that cannula,
was fine.
Got the milking part back on there. And I went on and bought another one. But, if you buy it, it's going to take a few days to get here because all the COVID stuff and things to get there. Douglas, thanks so much. Thank you very much, Mr. Douglas. That
if you have anything specific for us, let us know. We'll be glad to answer.
Too. So we got that hook back up. I went on and bought another one. So I said, well, I'll get this by because I'm frugal. So I said, I'll hook this back up. I will make it work. So I went out and I had I watched, I'm sorry, guys, something jumped on my screen. I listened to a devotion or a podcast every morning. And I was like, well, breathe. It's going to be a good morning this morning. Well, all of a sudden it started raining. So I'm going out there with the milk pump, tried it out when I left the house. Now I'm talking about plugged it in. And I said, well, I'm going to roll out there. We're going to be good. Everything's going to work out great. Get out there. And I go to push on my milk cart. And my milking machine would not come on. I said, what's wrong with my milking machine? I've never had an electrical issue. Well, my light was on in my stanchion. So I said, well, it's not an electrical issue. So I called Aiden. I said, Aiden, bring me an extension cord. Let me just stretch it from the house. And maybe, and my house we're about 500 foot. So we had to have several cords. So Aiden, he's taking his dear precious time because it's 4:30 in the morning. So he gets it out there, plug it up, still not working. I'm like, oh man. So I I get the generator out, and the whole time out, Allie's eating her ration. So I said, well, look, bring me the milk, the hand milk and stuff. I'm gonna try to hand milk her out right quick. Now I don't care what you say. When you're trying to be less stressed and it's 4:30 in the morning, it could just get stressful. So then I said, well, I'm gonna hand milk. I'm gonna get her hand milked. She's not used to being hand milked, but I'll hand milk her. So I started hand milking. She's moving everywhere. My good bucket, my good pail, Aiden didn't bring me because he was half asleep when he brought me the bucket. So I said, well, look, I don't have to keep this milk today. I don't have any of my stuff out here. I said, I'll just hand milk her
at this
to
point
get
in
her
time,
out.
we're on day 5.
I think we're on like day 6 or day 7 by now. I don't even remember.
I think it was day 5.
So I hand milk her.
I'm talking about like that we didn't get milk.
Oh yeah,
on
day 5.
Day of
that's
not
right.
Getting milk.
Day 5 of not getting milk that we're milking out. That I'm getting rained on, poured on, all this stuff.
Given to the pigs.
So then I'm hand milking, and she doesn't like hand milking. So I said, well, let's go and give her a little bit more feed. So I got her a good bit of it hand milked. I get her fully milked out because again, the baby's with us. So I was like, well, you know what, the baby can take the rest. So then, okay, was that my last hard day, or did I have another?
Well, y'all drug the generator out, and remember, plugged it up. It still didn't work. You kind of left off the generator part. So in the process of, he was like, well, I'm just going to start hand milking while Aiden's getting the generator out here.
She kicked the bucket.
Yeah, it was a mess. And then because he was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just try to get the pump on and get it on her to get her milked out, but it still wouldn't come on. It would not turn on at all. So that's when you were like, the calf can just take the rest of it. She'll be fine.
So I went inside, got all my stuff cleaned up, and I said, well, you know what? I've lost milk for the 5th day in a row. Tomorrow morning it's gonna be different. That was stupid. I should have never said that. So I said, well, I'm gonna go get a new pail, and we'll just hand milk until I get the parts I need for my dairy pump. So we found out what the problem was with the dairy pump, which was just the breaker on it. Got it fixed. But again, here's the problem. I got a bad claw. So I'm still waiting on the piece from the claw to come in. So I said, well, I'm gonna make this work. So we cut that suction off, and I said, I'll just milk with 3 and then move the last one over to the 4th. Tried it out, everything went good. Stormed the next morning. I'm talking about ever more rain. And so we finally went out. On the 6th day, though, we got her milked out, no issues whatsoever. She's done great through it all.
Yeah.
But it was just funny how it seemed like everything was going on. I told Misty.
It was like from one thing to the next. It was like every day it was a different problem.
When we first started milking back in 2017, it was like that. The first 7 days were just miserable. Everything went wrong. It was raining. At that time, we had Elsa milk cow. Nothing went right. And that was kind of like how it was the last 7 days before the last 2 days. Everything went wrong. Now the milk pump is still broke, but I'm managing to get it fixed now, and everything's working great. So it's
like one of those things where you're just kind of piecing it together.
Yeah, it is pieced
and
together.
Making it work. It's not really a very convenient situation, but it's just one of those things where you just grind it out.
We switched over a part of the older breaker because we hadn't got the new one yet. So it automatically just turns on when you plug it in. So I can't plug it in until I'm ready. So I'm out there like at 4:30 jumping around the cow trying to get it all plugged in. So, and I saw Keith say that I should have a camera. I probably should have, but it's just to a point where I can't hardly film because there's so much else going on. It's
and
crazy.
That's one thing that when you YouTube, I guess if you've been doing it for a really long time and you're just used to walking around with a camera in your hand all the time,
some
people probably do,
but we should do better.
But I know for us, I have found myself when I am in a really stressful situation where like we're chasing a cow or we're chasing an animal or you don't want anybody to get hurt. Like the last thing I think about is going to grab the camera because I'm so stressed out about. And I guess it's a personality thing too. I guess if you're like more of a laid back person, you're just like, oh well.
I say I'm gonna get a GoPro. And just hook it on me, and that way I never have to worry about it. It's just on me all the time, and that way I get at least the kind of like the point of view camera focus. So it's one of those things where.
But when you're out there dealing with them and you're in the heat of the moment, nothing's going right, you're flustered. it's just like it's like kind of like the last thing you're worried. All right, I know it is for me. Kind of
I
like the
think
last
about it,
thing
but
I'm worried about is just like trying to throw a camera in the
what
ordeal.
it's 4:30 a.m. too, so that never helps too much. So I'm trying to get her done, and really, it's not the fact of I couldn't remember it, but we had so much rain. We were worried about putting the camera down, and we were worried about trying to use our phone. And sometimes our phone, if we're using it as a secondary camera, like a B footage roll, it fills up a memory after like 3 minutes of filming. So it's just like one thing after the other. So sorry to run all that by you, but it's been one of those weeks. But everything's back to normal. She's milked great for the last 3 or 4 days.
When you moved her, we moved her over into a different paddock.
Oh yeah.
And she has ate that grass. I mean, she loved that
Yeah,
grass. That grass was high over there, and she loved it.
I think she did a backflip in there yesterday or something. She was excited to see that grass. So, we move our animals, and y'all see that. That's what most of our video is about. But she'd been on a paddock that was close to the milk stanchion, just to make it a little bit easier for us during all the storms. And when it rains real bad, we'll put her close. But she moved over to fresh grass, and that grass was literally
probably
knee deep. Yeah, it was knee deep grass.
Just beautiful
So
ryegrass. Yes, she's already mowed it all down.
Yep.
All right, I saw a question come across. How often do you check her for mastitis? Well, Colby's out there with her every day. So it's a daily thing. When he goes out and gets her all clean, gets her in the stanchion and gets her all cleaned up. One of the things that you do before you start milking is you squeeze out milk and check for any clogged ducts, any nastiness from the milk. You're checking to make sure there's no blood or anything like that.
Yeah, so we check
anything abnormal.
We check. We have what you call the California mastitis test. Everybody's seen it. It's the roll around purple dye. We carry it out if we see that there's a need. Now, that's one good reason about Allie versus Elsa. If y'all remember Elsa from our old videos, Elsa tended to get mastitis easier. She was a little bit older, and she tended to be a little bit more of a sick cow. But Allie is a hardier cow. She's never had mastitis. I hope she never gets mastitis, but
I think Allie
she's
had
done
it
really
twice.
good.
I mean, Elsa had mastitis
Hey,
twice
Tim.
when we had
Hey,
her.
Dorothy.
And one of those times was she did not have a baby on her. She had been here for several weeks.
Thank you, Jennifer.
It was so wet outside. That was those first few weeks we got her in March, and it was literally so wet. As we were walking across the field to get to the stanchion, it was suction our boot off of our feet as we were walking. That's how wet it was. So I'm really not surprised there, because she would eat and then go lay down basically in the mud.
I'm a cheapskate, so I really am. When I say that, I'm truly. Misty laughs at me. And my people I work with, these who do too. But I bought a new milk cart. Oh my gosh, that has been the awesomest investment. Awesomest, is that a word?
Hey, so you wanted to
So our old milk cart, if y'all remember the brown cart that I pulled out everywhere, the wheels had already come off once. I had to put new wheels on it. They didn't fit, so it kind of rode like this. And the handle had broke 3 or 4 times. I just kept piecing together with new bolts. But I said, you know what? Having all these troubles, let me at least get a new milk cart. I did, and I love it. It's awesome. I can't.
Simply Jan's got a good question about A2A2 cow.
Let's see. I have to go back. I can't see where.
We're looking into a Jersey, but not A2A2. What are your thoughts on? Should we spend the extra money to get a cow that is A2A2? What it really boils down to,
if you're having digestive issues or you're typically struggling with even raw milk, A2A2 is probably worth it. Personally, our bull, I think, was A1A2 on his registration. It never affected us. It doesn't affect us now. If someone, I'd say, is lactose intolerant from raw milk now, I'm not talking about just or have digestive issues with raw milk. Now, that's not comparable to like Walmart milk.
All right.
But if you have a cow and you're raw milk drinking and you're still having issues, then I would say go with A2A2.
But if you have consumed raw milk before from just, you don't know, you just drank it, raw milk, not had any problems, I probably, like Colby said, would not.
Thank you, Russell.
But for somebody that maybe has specifically GI issues, or GI problems in their past, then it might be something worth looking at. But if you don't have any gut problems, then I probably would.
And then please don't take this wrong for the people who watch a lot of homesteaders that push for A2A2. Just be careful. Always remember, I think we all want better, so then we're willing to pay all this extra money for more. Sometimes A2A2 is, to me, not all what it cracks up to be. Sometimes it's more of a marketing ploy. I think you're totally fine with having just regular milk. As long as it's raw, grass-fed organic milk, I think you're going to be
they don't
great.
have any digestive issues. We've never had raw milk before either, though. So, but as long as you don't have any GI issues, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
It basically boils down
Thank
to
you, Miss
it's
Annette.
like yeast making bread with regular yeast and making bread with sourdough. Sourdough is digested more easily, to where they say if you have a pure A2 cow, it just means that it's digested more easily.
So you compare it almost to, I mean, seriously, it's almost like a breast milk or a goat milk. Both of those are considered A2. So, it's one of those things that I don't get into the depth of A2. We've never had an issue with raw milk from either cow that we have drank from. Not a bit. So I would not just say I'm gonna go buy A2 cow just to pay the extra money for that. That was a long
Keith
answer,
says
but I'm just being honest with you.
cattle is the best. Well, we have contemplated, but we really don't need more milk. We were looking for a richer, creamier milk, and her Allie is pure Jersey, and the cream line that she puts off 40%, unbelievable.
I would say 40% of her milk produce in a typical day is cream.
So with that being said, I know Holsteins can easily pump off 4 or 5 gallons per milking, but we don't need that. Allie is anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5 gallons a day. But then the cream that she's given us, that we can utilize so much of that cream for so many other things, with ice cream and butter and stuff like that. I've made sour cream before. I would prefer to have less milk because we still have plenty enough for our family and be able to utilize the cream.
Keith, I like the Guernseys. I actually like the Holstein, the Guernseys, or the brown Swiss. They tend to be a bigger cow, so they tend to eat more, of course. So we tend to like the Jerseys. It's almost like almost like the Herefords too. We love the Herefords. We love the South Poles. We love those cattle that are big cattle, but not tend to be the Charolais, or the Beef Masters, or the Brahma, on the beef side. So I think Jerseys are more beneficial for us, especially for homesteads, because you have the cream, you can make so much with it. It's more functionality, and they tend to be a little bit smaller cows. I like the Dexter. I see Anderson's talking about the Dexter as well. Let's see. Simply Jan, I will say this: more than A2, what's important is you're buying from a reputable farm, dairy farm. I wouldn't buy a dairy cow from a sale barn that's just selling off the sale, because what it means is they're getting rid of it because they've nursed it to pieces, or it tends to be just a junk cow that they don't want anymore. So I would
try to find a family,
buy from a dairy
farm
that's reputable, that's not struggling, that has good genes, because most of the time they're AIing those cattle to very good high quality bulls because they want good milk producing cow.
And that would be more important to me than having a
A2 or A1A2 or
just knowing that it's a good cow, that's a hardy cow, that they've been raised right, they've been taken care of, and you're just not finding one off the whim that, like Colby said, that it's sick, or they've just literally abused her and they don't want her anymore, or whatever.
Yeah, Big Dave, we're not even going to talk about chickens anymore.
There was a Freedom Ranger that got out today when me and Aiden was out feeding.
Did they really?
Sure did. Well, it ran out of the cage when he opened the door to walk out, so then we had to chase it back in.
I hate Butcher Day, but I'm so ready for Butcher Day. I don't know what to do. I'm so ready to get rid of some chickens. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Let's see. So let's talk about gardens. So anybody jumping into crazy garden season? I know here we've slowed down because of the rain and the wetness and the coldness. But if y'all see the next 2 videos, our potatoes and our lettuces are booming. Onions, alliums are doing great too.
Jan, just let me reply to her.
No.
This real quick. It's great, really, that you're getting a calf because that calf will learn to either you can train them by what is it called? I'm losing my mind.
You are losing your mind.
Halter, or you can train them to follow a bucket. And once she does get pregnant and have her baby, or before she has her baby, but while she's pregnant, you can start stanchion training, which will do you a ton of good to get her used to going in the stanchions, you touching her bag and all that kind of stuff. That will be very important. So,
and we have a great video on stanchion training. Allie was a hard cow to stanchion train, and we stanchion train. She never kicks. She doesn't even pee and poop in the stanchion, except for when we were having milking issues the other day.
Well, I was going to go back and say, really, she wasn't hard to stanchion train. It was hard to break her with her personality.
Yeah, she is
because she is very, very stubborn and temperamental, and she knows how to use those horns. So we have to be very careful with her.
But now she's like a big baby with me, to be honest with you.
But just
hey, Miss Kathy.
It was more battling her temper than it was anything else.
But she never kicks me. She's never once kicked me.
But it's easier to do that without a calf involved in the picture, and trying to teach her the day she needs to be milked. If you're trying to teach her what to do on that day, I'm telling you,
you'll have a bad day.
You're gonna have a bad day. We've already rode that horse, and it ain't fun. I'm just gonna tell you now. So, with all that being said, getting her in a calf getting her as a calf will be huge.
She'll learn you too.
Will be huge benefit in your favor.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, I picked a red strawberry today.
Did you really?
I did, but it was little. So there were some bigger ones on there, but I threw it to the chickens and they were fighting over it.
So we got some people planting lettuce, kale, radishes, strawberries, carrots, potatoes, onions, and garlic. That sounds like us. We've planted all those things other than radishes this year. We're just not radish people. So we planted them one year. We got too many and we got burned out. But everything else we have planted.
Pete just milks in the field.
we can milk Elsa in the field. Allie will let you go to her in the field. I don't know if she'd stand there and let us milk the whole thing. She
probably wouldn't stand still
the whole time. Hey, Douglas, thank you so much. God bless, man. And hey, he said need some more soap.
Yeah, just if you'll email me, we'll get you fixed up, okay?
Email us, Douglas.
And also, speaking of, while I was cleaning out, I found these little jewels in the closet.
Y'all remember our merchandise? Actually, Missy's got one of them on right now, but
I do.
The two that we have extras, if y'all see.
And these are the cutest ever. I mean, how cute is that?
These are our shirts.
For food. Yes, these are personalized. Yeah. You're not going to find these anywhere else. We'll work for food.
Hey, Miss Irene. See you later, Miss Rebecca.
All of the beautiful vegetables. And these have to go on sale. So if y'all are interested in one of these, please
email
us know. This is how we roll. Is that backwards? Are they going to be reading
that backwards? You're reading that backwards. It actually says this is how we roll if you can't read. If you're not dyslexic, I'm sorry. If you're dyslexic, you could read that.
This is how we roll, and it is a vintage-looking wheelbarrow with the same items of food in there.
We have some mediums, larges, and extra larges left. No smalls and no double X's left, which we could order, but they might take a little bit longer. But hey, there's 2 shirts are available if y'all are interested in those.
Please let us know.
We don't sell a lot, but we had those left. So if y'all are interested, part of this spring cleaning thing going on.
I did find those, and I thought we need to put those out tonight because I really don't need those in my closet anymore, and they are so cute.
Big Dave, we'll have to get you one ordered. We don't have one in stock. Hey, Purple Pastures, I enjoyed your pig butchered video I watched not too long ago, and as a refresher when I did my last pig butchering. So thank you so much for that video.
They said it do read right. It do read right. It does read right.
Tim says it does read. On ours, it reads backwards, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
You're watching Mirror.
Yes, send us an email if you're interested, and we can
right side.
We can get you guys one medium, large, extra large. This is how we roll is like an olive green color. would you say that's more of a gray or like a
No, it's a
olive
greenish.
green?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a.
It's like you take the will work for food and throw it in the dirt. It's
So you're saying it's a dirty shirt?
it's like a khaki
It's like
green or something.
right.
It's pretty. Actually, it's more of a. It used to be
Mannish
it was a little bit more
color.
feminine, and we kind of manned it up. Is manned a word?
So that's what color this one is, just in case y'all can't see well in the light. And this is more like a mint green or like a soft. What would
Thank
you
you, Miss
call that?
Diana. Yeah,
Like
that's more of a green.
Like a mint green,
Yeah.
like a
Great. I'd say mint green.
mint, like a mini color. But super cute. You won't find those anywhere else. I'm colorblind. It won't matter. You know, I have really started wondering if Jennings is colorblind because we have worked with him. Colby's mom has worked with him, and we're like just not
Sage.
getting.
That's a good. That's right. I'd call that sage.
This is how we roll.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I wonder if he's
I don't think he is. He
colorblind.
get read pretty good. I think he just don't care as much.
And I really don't know a lot about how to pick up on if somebody is colorblind or not, other than doing the test. But he's probably been my hardest to teach colors, and he's like almost 3, and we still don't.
Jennings cares about the things that he should care about this much. he is absolutely stubborn.
2 of my boys are colorblind. Wow. See, I don't know anybody that's colorblind, and none of our children have ever been.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't know how to pick up any signs, but I would definitely have to.
He got red the other day and got blue. I don't know. I think he don't care.
He definitely doesn't care.
Hey, Miss Diana, how are you?
How old is he? He is 2.5, a little over 2.5.
Yeah, he'll be 3 this year, the middle of this year.
So, like the mint green. Yeah, it's a absolutely beautiful color. I wear mine all the time.
We had another shirt, but we don't have any extras in the one that Missy's got on, but that was our shirt too.
Yellows and pinks are confusing. Yeah, I mean, I could not imagine, 1, being colorblind, and 2, trying to teach.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been difficult with him, and I don't know if that's like a sign or, I mean, I really don't know. I'm going to have to look it up and look into it if he doesn't.
Lena says, don't rush him. He'll get it eventually. I think that's what it is. You know, all our kids have been, other than Eliza, all our kids have been pretty much spot on with just learning, and Eliza was a little bit more laid back. I think Jennings just too busy to do anything else. So.
What did the first shirt have on it?
The first shirt said, we'll work for food.
You know, like the people that hold up the signs at the street that say we'll work for food.
So we're working for food. Hey, and it has
cute.
just about every kind of early spring and summer crop on there. So I think it'd be a good shirt. Daddy-O, you know, I thought about Daddy-O the other day, and I said, you know what, we need to check on Daddy-O. Have they said how good Daddy-O's done or not?
I haven't heard from her.
Hey, Elsa had her baby. So if y'all are a diligent Max follower from years ago, and we talked a little bit about it a while ago, but Elsa had her baby with Daddy-O, the one Daddy-O bred her with. So she just had her baby at the other farm. She's doing great. She's pushing so much milk. They picked up another calf. To have 2 calves on her now.
Really?
So, yeah.
And her calf is beautiful. She had a little girl, and I thought,
hey, Larry, how are you?
She is so pretty. So they sent us a picture and said, here's Elsa's baby. And I wanted to say,
bring her back.
Yeah, I'm going to come get her.
She's mine. If y'all do want the shirts again, no pressure. Y'all can email us. We just have some, and we need to
I need them to find
spring clean out. So.
Yes.
We've been on Calves all night, really. The lambs are doing great. Sheep are doing great. We do have a little issue with one of the sheep. We'll discuss that in the video coming up. Don't let her start talking about it because she'll burst the bubble. So we have some great videos coming up, y'all. We have some great videos. I think y'all enjoyed the next few days. We have 3 good ones coming up, and we have one that's in work. So I
Thank
think
you,
you'll
Miss
enjoy
Shirley.
those. I just emailed you. Thank you, Miss Simply Jan. Miss Simply Jan. Thank you, Miss Jan.
Yeah, so it has been. I wish that some of the things that
Miss Susan said, "Don't tell in this Mac."
we some of the things we've gotten on camera, some of the things we didn't. I'm not out milking, doing a lot of the milking stuff in the mornings, but she's fussing. Yeah. But I wish that we could have kind of shown y'all some of the stuff that we went through. I think that
Thank you, Miss Cheryl.
it would just keep y'all knowing like how things can get real sometimes.
Stacy, we have bad. Stacy, you're not far from us. So because of all the rain, we've had tons of ants. And even in our raised beds, here's the best way to get rid. This is the best way we've gotten rid of ants at our farm. Ants hate disturbance. So instead of spraying them or anything, if you just go through there and I'm talking about just mess the pile up, throw it off, do some other things, they'll eventually go away because they don't want to be messed with so much.
Tell them you're losing all your hair.
Miss Maria says, take it easy on Misty. You will have to give her a foot rub. You need to speak honest about foot rubs.
Colby does rub my feet often.
Very often.
Livia's getting big. She is big, and she's losing all her
hair. I was going to say, as she gets big, her hair is getting smaller.
She has been really, really, really ill these past few days. I don't know if she's cutting teeth or she's hitting a growth. She's growing or what.
I know you had her like just barely showing. You can hardly see her.
But
yeah, she's been a little ill the last few days.
She gets sleepy. She will throw down. So we've had some.
Yeah, she turns into Jennings.
A little bit. We're hoping that this is just a phase.
We're hoping to not have freeze. We actually have 34, 35, and 37 the next 3 nights. So because if y'all know, we're in a low area, I think we should not get frost. I hope we don't, for our potato sake and our plum tree sake, because our plum tree is booming.
Yes.
Tons of blooms, and mostly every one of those blooms have made plums. There's little green plums all over.
Thank you, Simply Jan.
Lena Woods, Seminole will deter ants. Yes, we've used Seminole. We've used all kinds of stuff. But what we found out, if I just disturb the bed and just dump out as much as I can, eventually they'll move. Especially when we start moving silage tarps, we end up having a lot. But we either put chickens on it, or either we'll just kind of mess it up a lot and then go back the same day and do it again. It works really good.
Getting started on homesteading said, I think my house is just one big anthill this year.
In Mississippi, especially the humidity we have, but when it rains, it even gets worse. Big Dave, what about that tractor trick? That was cool. I don't know if y'all, I know a lot of times we don't do tractor videos or anything like that. I was laughing with Hank at Hamiltonville. That's kind of his thing, but I thought that was so cool. I had to show you. So to get that tractor out, that was just the coolest thing in the world. So
and
if you hadn't watched that video,
pretty stuck.
Oh my gosh, it was stuck. See, we didn't show the before footage. So someone commented and said, why don't you just use a truck? Okay, so we had a 3/4 ton F-250 4-wheel drive. We hooked it up to the same straps, and we pulled. And I'm talking about it pulled so much that it burned. It threw a rod. So he hurt his truck. It wasn't my truck. He hurt his truck. So we tried the truck. It didn't work. We tried the 2 tractors, and then all of a sudden it's like, this way you don't have to use anything but a tree, and it worked out great. So I can't complain. Hey, Evans family, how are you?
I don't know if they were having a lot of stress or if they were just having a lot of fun.
Who? There's a little bit of both. Hey, it wasn't my tractor, so I wasn't stressed out as much as he was. He was stressed. He was stressed. Yeah, Claudia says we could use some of that rain here in Central California. They are talking about another. We've had a ton of rain this year so far. Tons of rain.
I'm gonna tell you, my stuff has grown like tremendously.
Hey, Morning Woods.
all of my herbs and stuff that
Overnight.
stayed rooted from last year just grew like crazy. Like I actually have some in the dehydrator now.
And see, we were trying to get rid of. We love our bees. Let's see. Somebody said something about our green. Oh yeah, Lena. We actually might have to let Harlan get her. Miss Lena, we were not trying to get rid of bees. We have the bees are okay. We love the bees. But we're trying to get rid of the wasps. They're still there. Some we've got a lot of those out, so that's good. Delightful Cottage, I agree. The rain and the humidity here helps our pastures. Right now, our pastures are almost laying over with grass, which is phenomenal. Like, I want to take pictures of it because our grass has never looked so nice, even in the new field. So, love this time of year for that. The rain, that's one good thing. It's like a trade off. It's like when the gardens are not strong, the cattle are strong because, again, the grass is growing. Also, when it rains like this, we have to watch our bees because our bees tend to want to come out and they get stir crazy, especially during this season because it's swarm season for us and splitting. So when we have a pretty day, if I don't go ahead and open their hives pretty quickly and get another box on or make sure they're not trying to make a new queen, we could lose a swarm. So we have to really watch that too. Thank you, Miss Kathy, for sending that link. Hey, Kim, how are you? Miss Mac had to step away and take care of Livy. So a few things coming up in the next few videos. Not to spoil them, but tomorrow is a great video. You're going to see some new things on the farm. So look forward to that video tomorrow. We had one issue with one of our sheep. That video will be coming up in the next few days. We had a crazy situation that happened in town that was just not good. It dealt with the reno. So y'all see that video too. It's a great video. Just talks about big box stores versus local buying local. So I wouldn't say it's a political video, but it's definitely one of those ones that makes you think, this is why I buy local versus buying from a big box store. So that should be a weekend video. I think y'all like that. That's good. Kim making yogurt. We made some the other day. We've got milk flowing out our ears. So. All right. It says, Nadine, how long after calves can you start milking? We literally, all right, few thoughts. We have some farms who would say, give the calf the mama for the next 2 or 3 days. We give them the first day and the next, within 12 to 24 hours, which is the next morning, we're going to milk. Now that milk is going to be colostrum full most of the time. So of course the calf has got it, but any extra colostrum that the calf does not take or that does not need, because of course, especially with Jersey, now we're talking about a milk cow versus a beef cattle. Beef cattle, we let the colostrum flow and we let the calf take it. But when it comes to our calf for our Jersey, she just can't take all of it. So we save the first 2 days of milking and put it up in the freezer. So Miss Matt got a lot smaller. Everybody say, hey, Harley. So we milk the first day after a calf, one of our dairy girls have a calf. However, those first 2 days we freeze the milk because it's colostrum strong. If we ever have one of our beef or our dairy or our first time heifer not take one of their babies, we have colostrum milk set in the freezer that we can defrost and feed to those babies because that calf needs colostrum. So I would challenge you, if you are milking the first day after, please make sure that you you keep 1 or 2 days worth of that because it's heavy colostrum. If you choose to drink it or you choose to use it, you can. It's no problem at all. A lot of times you can make yogurt with it or go ahead and make ice cream with it or butter because it's good for you too. The colostrum is good for you too. So it's not the milk to me tastes a little salty, a little grainy with colostrum in it. So a lot of times people make ice cream out of it or they'll make butter out of it. We made butter out of one of ours. So great question, by the way. See y'all later, Anderson. Thank y'all so much for coming on. No, actually, Grammy Karen, someone asked us the other day, would we do that game again, the Bean Boozled game, and we will not. We're actually fixing to do another little challenge that's kind of like the Bean Boozled, but it tastes a lot better. So you'll see that video coming out probably in the next few weeks too. Everybody's saying, "Hey, you reading that?"
I know.
She spells her name a little different. It's got 2 E's versus the Y, but she's loving y'all saying hey to her. So thank y'all. Let's see. We've been warned we are supposed to have a lot of snakes coming out in Lubbock, Texas when it gets warmer. So scary. Snakes are a big deal here. We have a lot of snakes, especially this time of year. We're in an area that has a lot of cottonmouths and a lot of moccasins. We have already killed 2 cottonmouths this year, and then we actually ran over a big old chicken snake too. We're going to see what Mommy needs. Ran over a big old chicken snake yesterday or the day before. Not meaning to, just happened to be in the road, but it was huge. So snakes are really big here because we're in a wet, low area, kind of where a creek starts. So we tend to see a lot of snakes. Bean boozles. I'm glad. There's times I get whiffs of those jelly beans and I can't handle it. Now we have another one. Can you say hey?
Hey.
That's Hey Eliza. I don't know where Selah's at. Where's Selah? She's not coming on. She's in the room. She don't know y'all been on. All right, so Kim says, what is your favorite animal, Harley?
A horse. I know
Horse.
what mine is.
They've been on us for a while to get a horse, and it's not that we don't want a horse. It's just around here, horses are very expensive. So we're still looking. We're going to try to find an old pony or old horse
That we can ride.
That we can ride. That's right.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite animal?
A horse.
What's your favorite animal on the farm that we have?
Cat. Cow.
All right, so yours is the cat. Yours is the cow.
She's
Which
scared
cow?
of the cows.
Which cow? You like one of the new babies?
Elsa.
Elsa's not with us anymore. Which one's your favorite? You like Allie's little baby Trixie? Yeah, I like the lamb.
I like either Sunny or Rosie.
The Hereford calf, so they like those too. Yeah, Tim, that's kind of another reason we've not pushed for a horse. We tend to get animals that we can eat. And not that if y'all eat horses, have at it, but that's not something we do. So that's another reason we really hadn't pushed too much. So, hey, Just Country Girl, missed you a while ago coming in. Lena Wood said, let the kids have the camera for a day and post their videos through the eyes of the kid, Max. You know, if you notice a lot, especially tomorrow in the next day's video, a lot of the footage is even them filming. So you'll see some of them filming. But we've talked about Aiden. Aiden used to carry the camera a little bit, but now he doesn't carry as much. He always makes excuses. Yeah, Eliza likes filming. We have a video of fishing a little bit in the next few days, and she was actually doing our filming while we were fishing.
I really like fishing. I'm not in that kind of thing.
Spell check, Harley. They said you're a pretty girl too, so like your sister.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So thank y'all so much for coming on tonight. We're gonna jump off. Miss Mac had to get excused because of baby duty, so we're sorry about that. But thank y'all so very much for coming on. Again, next few days videos are great. We've got we have another Mac coming. Can you say hey? Hey, what's your favorite animal so far on our farm?
Duck.
Duck. You like the ducks? That was a good one. The ducks are pretty fun. So thank y'all so much for coming on. We had a blast with y'all this evening. We always enjoy your talks. Hey, watch our videos the next few days. Share the Max. We're trying to grow our channel. Hopefully we will grow. We just want to be interesting to watch, but also just a positive, uplifting part of your day. So thank you so very much for watching. God bless.
Happy homesteading, y'all. Happy homesteading, y'all.
Night, guys.